In today's episode of the podcast, we are bringing to an end, for now at least, our conversation about youier well-being. And we're ending with the reminder that laughter is medicine. I am your host, Elle Edwards, founder of the Faith and Business Playground. And I'm here with coaching, training, and this podcast to help you embrace your inner weirdo so you can make Jesus CEO of your life and business. As ever, the link to schedule a call to see what that might look like if you need help with this stuff more practically one-on-one, because let's be honest, listening to stuff is cool. Taking action as the next step is even cooler. So if you want help with that, faithandbusinessplayground.com/talk is the link you need to pick a time on my calendar. In the meantime, though, let's dig into this. We're going to go straight to Proverbs. And this is Proverbs chapter 17, verse 22. Now, Proverbs is full of lots of little sound bites, and you can just dip into it in and out because sometimes it doesn't even seem to sort of fit together with a natural theme. And this is no exception. So this is verse 22. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. And as I was preparing for this week's episode, so the way it works, the way I do this is I sit down with my notebook and sit down with God and say, right, this is our theme. What have you got? And for today, the thought that popped in my head, laughter is medicine. Now, if you've been following along, you'll know that every single episode this week, I've had a very clear Bible verse to share with you. And I said to God, laughter is medicine. Yeah, it sounds good. I know there's loads of Bible verses about like being cheery and stuff, but does it actually say that in the Bible? And I then Googled it. Hooray for the internet. I'm glad I live in an internet age. I've got to be honest. It makes things so much easier because I typed in laughter is medicine Bible verse. And then magically, God helping me, it said a cheerful heart is good medicine. So it didn't actually say laughter. A cheerful heart is good medicine. Laughter is medicine is what I came up with in terms of a little sort of tagline for it. But yes, the answer I got from God is, yes, it's definitely in the Bible. Yes, it is biblical. And there are other examples as well. It talks about joyful spirit. It talks about, there's a verse somewhere, and again, I didn't find it. It's probably in Proverbs, about having a smile on your face and all this sort of thing. There are lots of little snippets and reminders that actually laughter is medicine. It wasn't just a nice little throwaway phrase. It is biblical, which I was very glad about. Having had a whole week where everything was very clearly from the Bible, it was nice that God went, yep, to that one as well. And so I just really want to remind you as we round out this week that God is calling you for a life of joy. And there's a difference, I think, between happiness and joy. When I did my vision board for this year, some of you might have heard me talk about this before. I've tried vision boards before. And then my friend Louise did a class about it and said you don't actually have to do it the way everybody else does it. So long story short, I've actually, for my vision board, and I would have air quotes around that because mine doesn't look traditional at all, I've got photographs. And every time I look at these photographs, they put a smile on my face, which is nice anyway. But they're visual representations of the things that are important to me. I've got pictures of my husband with the children, more than one. I've got pictures, in fact, all of the photographs on my vision board are outside because fresh air, outside, freedom, that's important to me. Slap bang in the middle of my dream board is the word joy. How I want to show up in the world. Joy, not happy, joy. And there is a difference. I think we can be joyful even when we're not feeling particularly happy, because I believe joy is a gift from God. And there is a Bible verse somewhere for that one, which I didn't look up because I didn't know we were going to go down this path when I started speaking. That's the way it rolls in the podcast. You're probably used to that by now. But this reminder that joy is a gift from God. And so I want to remind you of that today as well, particularly if you're somebody who finds it difficult. We talked about this a little bit yesterday as well, with that reminder that nobody is stuck being a grumpy pants. If you think that I'm just a negative person, I'm a negative Nancy, that's it, there's no hope for me. God is saying no. He is contradicting that. That is a lie. That is just not true. You do not have to be stuck anywhere. You do not have to feel like this is my lot. There is no changing. There is no hope. There is always hope. And there can always be joy. God helping you. And that's my reminder actually throughout all of these episodes this week. All of this is God helping you. It's Romans 12. Here's what I want, the Message version. Here's what I want you to do. God helping you. Where we run into difficulties, I think, as people of faith, as God's ambassadors out there in the world, as Christians, where we run into difficulties is where we just try and willpower our way through this. We try harder and we push and we're going to strive. No, God helping you is the phrase for all of this stuff. I want you to be so full to the top with God's love and his joy and that real awareness of just how cared for and nourished and loved you are, that you show up in this world and you just can't help but have a big smile on your face and just do these things because you want to. You know, like doing this podcast is wonderful. I love the fact I get to be here and share this stuff with you. I don't do it because I have to. I don't do it because it's a marketing exercise. I don't do it because somebody said I should. I love it. I feel so privileged and honored. It is a delight and a real joy. And I sit here in front of my microphone with a great big grin on my face most of the time. And sometimes I think, do I really get to do that? Like, that's so cool, you know, and that's what I want for you as well. And it doesn't, I'm not saying a podcast, you know, that's my outlet for some of this stuff. Your outlet will be different because you are you. And that's what's important as well, is that there is no one way for laughter to be part of your day-to-day life. There's no one correct way for joy to show up in your life because you are you, I am me. And there is nobody quite like you on this planet. There are people that might look like you physically, even if you're an identical twin. And if you are an identical twin and you're listening to this podcast, send me a message because I don't know if I've got any identical. I'd love it. I said this once, actually. I said, if I was talking about brain surgeons, that was it. And I said, if you're a brain surgeon, tweet me because I was on Twitter a lot at the time. I never got a tweet, but there you go. But I'm going to put it out there. If you are an identical twin, I would love to hear from you because I'm saying these things, but I've actually not tested this with identical twins. But what I would put to you is this. Even if you are an identical twin, so you physically and genetically look like another person, there is another person on this planet who is identical to you in looks. And you grew up in the same household. And so you had the same nurturing and the same upbringing. You are still you. There will be things that light you up. There'll be things that you're passionate about, those things that you get geeky about. And I would dare to suggest, and like I say, this is why if you are an identical twin, I want to talk to you to find out if this is true. I believe that the things that you geek out about and the things that excite you and the things that make you woohoo and get you all squee will be different to the things that light up your identical twin, because you are you and she is she. That's not a very good sentence, but never mind. But like I say, if you are an identical twin, message me, reach out to me, however you're listening to this, because I really want to talk to you because I would love to I'm fascinated by that. But that's what I maintain. And if we can get loads of identical twins, and then we can do a whole episode on how true this really, really is, that would be really cool. But really, this is a reminder ultimately that you are you, and how you show up and how you do joy is unique to you. That is that reminder. That's why everything that we talk about on the podcast now is with that caveat that there is no one size fits all. And I'd go back to what I talked about a couple of days ago. If you're not sure what that looks like for you, ask God, because he knows. It's already done. All the way back in eternity past, he knew that you would be you and that you are you and you are here in this moment in time. So you don't ever need to think that, oh, it's all a bit random and nobody really knows. God knows. So if you're not sure, ask him to help you. And of course, if you'd like a conversation with a human and together we can ask God and we can pray about it and we can dig into this more, you have got the link to schedule time to talk to me, faithandbusinessplayground.com/talk. I will be back next week. And next week, we are talking about youier goal setting. I want to just check my notes, make sure I've got that in the right order. Yes, we are doing youier goal setting next week. So if you're not subscribed already, do please subscribe so you don't miss out on that. But more than anything, if you've been here and followed along all week, I want to thank you. If you just dug in for this episode, I hope it's been a blessing to you. Thank you for listening. I look forward to catching up with you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.